So there tends to be a negative mindset towards renting. And I'll be honest, even myself, when I was looking at a home base, one of the criteria that I wanted was some level of ownership of the land. And so, that was important for me. But this is what I want to share on the positive side if you were renting. And in this video, I'm specifically addressing lot rent if you lived in a mobile home. This is a positive of that. When you own property and you have equity in the land, there is really only one time that you make money on that land equity. And that is when you sell. And buying property is a long-term investment. Just like any investment, it could go up or down in value in a short period of time, but over a long period of time, it does tend to go up. But just like buying a CD from a bank, a certificate of deposit, it may take 3, 5, 10 years to mature, and if you sell it before maturity, you could possibly lose money. That's how property is. Think of property as buying a CD at a bank, and you have to hold that property to maturity between 3, 5, or 10 years before you have positive equity, especially after considering some cost associated with selling. And if you're elderly, your exit strategy is different. Why? Because you're not only trying to calculate not running out of money, you're running out of time. The average life expectancy is between 76 to 78 years. And so, let's just round it up to the age of 80. So if you're buying property and you're above the age of 70, chances are you're never going to get a positive cash out. Because if you had to hold that property for 10 years, it's probably going to be past your life expectancy on average. There's exceptions, of course. So really the only equity that could be valuable is if it goes to the inheritance of your estate, which could also be troublesome because anyone who's ever either lived through it or seen it, when you leave property, non-liquid assets to relatives or family, that could go through probate, lawyers, and it takes years to liquidate. And it causes a lot of stress, a lot of havoc. Okay, if you wanted to leave something for your children, in many regards, the best thing is some type of liquid cash, CD, something that's, very easy to dissolve. Okay, and there's not a lot of fighting and bickering, etc., right? Or upkeep. Now, the only other time you can get equity out of a property if you own the land is if you would refinance it, meaning you would take debt on to pull the equity out if you had some before maturity. And again, if you're going to buy property after the age of 70, you're probably not going to have enough equity to take a home equity loan out because, it's going to take several years for it to build up enough equity because usually they only let you pull out 70 to 80% of the equity, sometimes 90%, but those days are not that much. And so, again, here we go. If you're buying property and you're in the 60s or 70s, you're up against time. Average life expectancy is just about 80. So, for you to buy property and then for you to hold it long enough to have equity to pull it out or to sell it, it's not that realistic. So lot rent is not that bad per se. Because let's take this also. If you buy the property cash, let's say you buy the property cash, you have no mortgage, right? You still have property taxes, utilities, and possibly home insurance if you choose that. But even if you didn't choose home insurance, right? Because if you own the property outright, you don't have to have it, but you'd have to self-insure if you had a catastrophe. But with property taxes, utilities, and general maintenance, or if you had an HOA, you're going to end up probably still around $500, $600, $700, $800 a month, even with no mortgage. And that's most lot rents for mobile homes, between $500 to $800 per month. Certainly they can go higher, 1,000 or even more if you're really in a luxurious community. But for the average person, you're going to be paying just as much as you would pay with a paid off property that you own the equity. The only benefit of owning equity is you do get appreciation, but it takes time, and then you have to sell it or you have to take on debt to take it out. So don't be too negative on lot rent if you're a senior, if you're above the age of 60 or 70. Again, I'm not saying I'm a fan of lot rent, because I'm not. I don't want to lie. But you have to look at things through various perspectives, and you have to look at your situation. Especially if you have a nice lot that you like, that may have privacy, or you may like the community, buying something similar is not going to be easy. You're going to spend a lot of resources, and then you may be house poor. So just give some thought to lot rent if you were in a mobile home or even an RV, because that's kind of the niche that my channel addresses mainly. But you can pull something out of this video, even if you are just looking at buying versus renting. There's pros and cons to both. Again, long-term buying tends to be the best way, long-term. But you only have so long from the human life expectancy. And leaving assets that are non-liquid to other people could cause more headaches than not. And, I'm not saying you should never consider it, because there's so many different individual situations in life. I'm saying this is also something to consider. Okay, that, if you have lot rent and you like the community and you're able to save money and travel at will and just save money still, and then, you could leave just a savings account or whatever to whoever, and you could travel at will, and you can enjoy your home base. So there's benefit, okay, to lot rent, to living in a mobile home or even an RV for some people. And, so just think about that. That's all. It's just a video. And enjoy each day. Remember, manage your time, what times you wake up, and then what you do. You don't have to go on vacation, What you have to do is wake up early, push yourself to do something productive, push yourself to exercise, push yourself to go explore within the 30-mile radius of where you live. Remember, most people, including me, even active people, you have to push yourself to do something, or else you will just stay in your house all day. And it's harder as you get older. But you got to push yourself just a little bit within wisdom, and that will scratch some of this itch that people have of always wanting to do something different. Sometimes you just got to keep your ass put, depending on your circumstance, right? Because believe me, guys, I've been up and down the East Coast. I know some people have been around the world. I've never been around the world, but I've been around. And what I can tell you guys, no matter where I go, I'm looking for a few things. I'm looking for a Starbucks, a gym, a beach, okay, and a park. So what does it really matter once you kind of find out where you want to be? Those things are everywhere. Traveling, there's traffic, there's difference, but it's not that, just think about this, okay? And I hope this video helped. If it did, click the thumbs up, share the video, subscribe if you're not. And thank you for watching.